Hey everybody, happy Friday to you. I'm Briggs here with Hunter. Ryan's still out enjoying his cruise in Europe, lucky dog. But we're here holding down the fort until we head out for the weekend.
Yeah, life is good here. It's not quite as warm as where Ryan is, I don't think, but it's going to be 70s. It's going to be close to what Ryan's experiencing.
I could have sworn that we would have seen our last 70-degree day.
I know, right?
A week or so ago. So when I saw it come back on your 7th day, I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, what's
happening? What is this? Do you have fun plans outside this beautiful weekend?
I actually do. So tonight, gig weekend. We got a lot of gigs going on this weekend. Tonight, we're playing up at Jim's in Chisholm, and it's outdoors. Nice. So it's going to be 7:30 tonight outdoors. So hopefully it's still kind of nice later on tonight. It should be, and it's going to be a blast. But then Saturday, we went to the Breeze Inn, and we're going to be playing at the Breeze coming up.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to do an Oktoberfest.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Also technically outside, but under a tent. So it's still kind of outdoors, but
I'd say that counts.
That counts, right?
You're going to do a little props.
I think so. I'm going to do it. Is it
Probst? See, okay, so here's what I just did. Jeff Probst, my favorite Survivor show, as we all know, it combined Prost with Probst.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't realize how close those two things were until just right now.
I'll be prosting and probsting. I'll be watching some Jeff Probst too. But what are you doing this weekend, Briggs?
I am going to the UMD men's hockey game tonight. They're playing the Gophers.
Let's go.
Let's go Dogs. I'm excited about that. And then the UMD women playing my alma mater, St. Thomas.
Whoa.
I know, I believe that's here in Duluth, so best of luck to both teams.
Who do you root for in that situation?
That's a great question.
Yes.
That's a great question.
You don't have to disclose it.
I'll go with the home team in this one. Yeah, gotta cheer for the Dogs. Gotta cheer for the Dogs.
That'll be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend no matter what, and of course we hope that you all have a nice weekend. And join us on Monday. We'll talk about it on Monday as well. Good times here. Coming up on today's show, though, we've seen tons of stories about people giving back in the wake of Hurricane Helene and Milton, but this story of an honorary lineman will certainly warm your heart.
Oh, just so cute. Then coming up later on in the show, our Northern News Now blood drives have helped save hundreds of lives right here in our region. We have details on how you can sign up for the next one and why it's so important to donate right now. Hunter was mentioning those hurricanes. They need a lot of help. Need you to give and make sure the people who were injured in those can stay with us. But first, hey, it is Friday, so you know what that means. We've got NFL football coming up this weekend, and it's a huge weekend. Huge weekend in the NFC North. We have the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Detroit Lions. The Vikings, of course, undefeated, and the Lions just have one loss, and it came a lot earlier in the season. I think they lost to the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's been a minute since they've lost. They're on quite the roll. I don't know. Who are you picking this week, Hunter?
I would say it might be our toughest game so far this season, and coming off of a bye, I'm still going to go with the Vikings, but I'm hesitant with going with the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because the Vikings are at home.
Yep.
They've proven, I mean, obviously they're undefeated, but they've proven to do decent at home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go. You said Vikings?
I said Vikings, yep.
Okay. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Vikings, too.
Okay, let's go.
Stick with the squad this week. It's going to be a fun game to watch no matter what, because the divisional rivalry aspect of it, too, just makes it so much more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I know that in my fantasy league, on both, I'm in two separate leagues.
Yes.
I've got the Vikings defense for both of the leagues. So I've got two separate defenses that I can start. I'm starting the Vikings defense, but I'm a little worried about that, too, because they put up so many points, the Lions, last week. We're going to see what happens this week, but I think it's going to be a close game, and I think the Vikings will edge out on top.
Okay, I've got Amon-Ra St. Brown on my fantasy team for the Lions, so hopefully, I hope he does well. But I have also Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, which do you want?
Oh,
Who do you want to do well?
Killing for you, probably, right?
Yeah,
Sam
he's
Darnold?
been doing pretty well.
Oh,
he's been doing pretty well.
Good for you. Well, meanwhile, on the other side of the border, we've got the Green Bay Packers hosting the Houston Texans. Another tough matchup since the Texans are 5-1. Their only loss, get this, from the Minnesota Vikings. So let's go Skol. But they are on the road at Lambeau, and we know that's a tough atmosphere for any team to walk into. That's a tough pick right there, Briggs. What do you pick?
I really don't know here. I guess I'm going to go Packers because they're at home.
Yeah. I think that makes sense to me. I mean, they're kind of, are they on a winning streak right now? I think, obviously, both teams are, I think.
Yeah, the Packers won last week. They beat the Cardinals, which is a solid team.
Yep.
Yeah, but another guy on my fantasy team, Marvin Harrison Jr., got that concussion, so maybe he might be out for this game too. I don't know.
That's the other thing on my other league. I've got a bunch of Qs, which means questionable. Like your players are questionable. You don't know if they're going to play or not, so it's a little iffy. I don't know. Might have to switch some people on my roster.
It's always scary as a fantasy team manager, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't like it at all.
This pressure? I don't know.
Why did I do this to myself? Oh my gosh. But I think I will go with you as well. I'm going to go with the Packers. As much as I might want to see them lose, let's beat the Texans. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go Pack.
I did reach out to Ryan, ask about his picks. I felt bad because he's on his vacation. I didn't want to bother him, but I wanted him the opportunity to at least, continue to play the game. So we'll see. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but he has some time. And as a reminder, here's a look at our current Northern Life standings when it comes to picking Vikings and Packers games this year. Hunter is now 8-2 since he picked the Cardinals to win last week. And you were wrong, Hunter. You were wrong. But Ryan and I both had faith in the Pack, giving us a one-game boost and getting us a little closer to you in the standings. So
I don't like that. The gap is closing a little bit. I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll see. Hopefully Ryan picks the same thing that we pick so that it stays the same going to the next week. But the Cardinals, I felt something deep in my heart. Maybe it was some kind of clogged artery or something like that. But
cross my fingers.
But I thought the Cardinals would win. But every single team in the NFC North just killed it last week. I could not believe the point spreads on every single game. I mean,
so fun to watch.
It's an interesting NFC North this year, that's for sure.
Sure is.
That's definitely true. But we're almost halfway through the NFL season, which means winter is coming. Also means holiday shopping season is just around the corner. And new data shows consumers plan to spend an average of $1,778. That's up 8% from our last year. Consumers indicated they'll spend less on traditional gifts, more on experiences, including travel, entertaining at home, and attending holiday events. I'm all for that. Our family's kind of steered away from doing like the material stuff and doing concerts, especially concerts. But
such
trips,
a good idea.
Yeah, it really is. It's a good time.
Yeah, I know Dan Wolf, one of his gifts this year was going to the Vikings-Lions game coming up, so
cool.
A great gift. Hey, coming up after the break, during this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Minnesota nurse shares her journey.
Welcome back, folks. Getting the lights back on is a critical job for this country's linemen, and now in the wake of Hurricane Helene, the city of Augusta, Georgia has one more, an honorary lineman.
Yeah, 5-year-old Ryan Dial was on a walk with his mom in their neighborhood and ran into some linemen from Texas, and as Gray Television's Meredith Anderson reports, they formed a special bond.
Hey, there's your bucket truck.
Me?
Yeah, yours.
As a lineman, Devin Rockholt's job is to bring light.
I've been doing it since I was 19.
Happy.
Took me a lot of places and I met a lot of good people.
He's the general foreman for a crew here all the way from Fort Worth, Texas.
Ryan calls them lights because they turned on our lights and they were lights.
Lights in a dark time for everyone whose power they restored, but especially for 5-year-old Ryan Dial.
He's very sensory oriented and needs everything to be routine.
Which is why Devin and his power crew became so powerful.
Has he been in the truck yet?
No, this is his first time. We've been told him we're going to bring a truck by for him.
They restored Ryan's routine.
Oh, now you can reach.
But they also found a way to disrupt it in the best possible way.
Beat the horn.
Bye. Look.
The rest is nothing short of electric.
He's a wild man, huh?
It's not just the megawatt smiles. You can actually feel their spark.
When Ryan was first born, everybody said that children with special needs default to love, and that's what he is. He's just pure love.
Devin had a sister with special needs. He lost her in 2012.
She was only 4, so around the same age as him. So I actually volunteer for the Special Olympics. I do a lot of stuff like that.
Devin's also a father to a 3-year-old girl who he misses desperately. But they'll likely be heading to Florida next to help with Milton.
We'll go home when the work is done, I guess.
Spreading even more light to other families who need his light too.
Oh, such a sweet story. And little kids like that, they just love, seeing workers like that out in their neighborhoods. So I'm sure that brought a lot of joy to Ryan.
Yep, what a sweet little kid right there.
Absolutely. And you can still lend a hand to the nation's hurricane victims by donating right here locally. Duluth's East Ridge Community Church is leading a relief drive, looking for donations to send to the people of the Appalachia area. There are 4 donation trailers located all throughout the city, collecting diapers, clothes, canned goods, and more. Keevee Brothers Trucking is one of the collaborators of that drive, offering to drive the donations to impacted areas all for free. East Ridge's senior pastor says after a sermon the other week, the congregation wanted to take action for Helene's victims. So We have more information on where you can find those trailers on our website. They'll also be accepting donations through Sunday.
How cool is that? I mean, with our country the way it is right now, it's cool to see people coming together, and especially locally, and donating to something that, isn't affecting us locally here, but able to give to people so far away from us.
Yeah, so inspirational.
Very,
Love to
very
see it.
sweet. Yes. Meanwhile, a Minnesota nurse just finished a nearly 500-mile-long hike all by herself. But what's more impressive is what happened just before she was about to start.
Yeah, Jennifer Hoff shares her story.
Life can sometimes be like hiking a trail,
You can see forever up on these trails.
making sure to take it one step at a time,
Just magical.
even when it's rough.
2 months before this trip, just went in for just a regular mammogram, and bam, it was like hitting a brick wall.
Kelly Lamar was diagnosed with breast cancer in May.
Right here.
Her doctor diagnosing her with stage 1.
This was early. This was very treatable, very curable.
Lamar was clear she'd have a double mastectomy, but it's what came after that still mattered.
I go, is it at all possible, in your opinion, that I can still do this? And when he said yes, that was huge for me.
The 49-year-old had trained for years, was in top form to take on her first long-distance trail.
I did not want this cancer to end what I had worked so hard for. And I did take it really slow the first 100 miles.
For 486 miles, over 43 days, Lamar made it to the end, just 5 weeks after she first had surgery.
You were so, with your decision, you were just very clear. This is what I want to do. And I was like, she's going to hike on that trail.
The Colorado Trail may boast alpine lakes and scenic views,
It's really amazing, yeah.
but with it can come curves and obstacles,
It changes you in a much better way.
pushing people still to make the most out of every step.
This has actually been one of the best things that has ever happened to me, because it does, like I said, it makes you appreciate everything. I feel more alive than I ever have been.
Kelly's next adventure is the Pacific Crest Trail, a hike 4 times as long that runs from Mexico to Canada that she plans to complete in 2026. In Maplewood, Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.
Wow, another great. You got some tearjerkers
I
in this
know.
block here, Briggs.
I had to find all the good stories to share with you on the Fridays. We're getting ready for the weekend.
That's
but
so sweet.
It is a very nice one.
The best news there, of course, is Lamar is now cancer-free and plans to write a book all about her health. So huge mountains that she's overcome, and definitely just unbelievable. So good stories there for sure.
Thank you.
Yes,
Glad we found them.
yeah, good work, Briggs. There. Coming up after the break, how you can help give the gift of life. We sit down and talk about our next Northern News Now blood drive.
Welcome back, everybody. For 10 years now, Northern News Now has been teaming up with Memorial Blood Centers to host blood drives and help save lives. And good news is we have another one coming up next month. We have Angela Engblom with Memorial Blood Centers here with us today in studio to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for being here, Angela.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get to the logistics about our blood drive coming up in just a few minutes, but I have to imagine now is a really important time for people to be making donations of blood. Tell us about why that is.
It is. It's extremely important right now. We've just had a lot of blood shortages. A lot of it is due to people just not being able to give for various reasons. People are still working remotely a lot from home, and so our businesses have not been doing as many blood drives as they have in the past. And blood usage has just gone up. We have a lot of treatments for patients that we haven't in the past. They're just using a lot more blood products.
Sure. I know a lot of the donations made here in the Northland stay local to help local people in need, but have you seen an increased need at all after the hurricanes down south?
Yes, there has been an increase in the blood count in the southern region. We're hit very, very hard with some severe weather, and we have actually been sending blood throughout the U.S. to help supply the rest of the U.S. as well.
Amazing. So we also just met a young Proctor boy recently who has relied on blood donations throughout his young life to help him through his disease. So tell us about how people making blood donations can help their neighbors right here in the Northland.
Absolutely. It can be, we have to have blood on the shelf when a patient needs the blood to start off. So that's the most important thing I think to really point out. We need to have it before a disaster occurs, before a patient needs that blood. We actually have to have the blood already available because it takes about 2 days from the time somebody donates to that blood can actually be available on that shelf. So patients need blood for all kinds of reasons. It can be, anything like a trauma, like a car accident. It can be cancer treatment. A lot of cancer patients need blood products, but also those ongoing health conditions, that they have anemia or whatever the medical diagnosis is. And sometimes it's like that instant save a life type thing. And sometimes it's just truly improving the quality of life and giving somebody years and years that their body's not making blood and they would pass away if they didn't have that blood to be transfused to them to keep them alive and really give them, days, months, years more of life.
Absolutely, and it's such an important message to share, and we're excited too to share the story of the young Proctor boy we met. He has a very inspirational story, and hopefully it will encourage people to get out there and donate coming up for our drive, which, by the way, coming up on November 11th and 12th at Pier B. So what do you want people to know if they're considering signing up for our drive?
Please, we're looking for new donors. It's healthy, it's safe, it's very painless. Our staff are fun. So people who come down who are afraid of needles and stuff, don't be afraid.
That would be me.
Don't be afraid, because our staff make it a really great experience. And we've been doing this Northern News Now drive for 10 years, like you mentioned, and it is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
People come in and the process is so smooth, it's fun, it's lighthearted. There's nothing scary about it. It's not like you're in a medical office or doctor's office. And the donors that come in for the Northern News Now drive get a free long sleeve t-shirt.
Amazing.
And then they also get a free Epicurean item, which we've been doing for the last several years now. So, thank you to Epicurean, because it's a fabulous donation that they give us to be able to provide to the community. And so it's a really fun event, and the product is, the blood is so needed.
Yes.
It really makes a world of difference, and it truly is saving lives.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Angela. And again, if you want to sign up for our blood drive, we're going to have a link on our website. It's happening from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, November 11th, and again, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, November 12th. We'll take a look at what's coming up after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Before we go today, the search for America's best restroom, Hunter, it's over.
Really?
It's over. The 2024 winner is a Maverick service station located near Salt Lake City's International Airport. Okay. The Maverick chain has more than 380 stations scattered across 12 western states. Nominations listed said that their restrooms are clean and comfortable with sparkling features, spacious stalls, and fresh amenities. So I'm assuming this must be like the Quick Trip of the West.
Sure.
Is it like a gas station? I was kind of confused. I've never heard of a Maverick service station.
It must be. It looks, at least with the pictures, it looks similar to a Quick Trip as far as the bathrooms are concerned. Like you get your own hotel room to do whatever you got to do in there. It's almost a pleasure to go to the bathroom.
Right? Yeah. I always love a good bathroom. To me is one that has the stalls. The wall goes all the way to the floor in the ceiling.
Yes.
I love that for some reason.
Yeah, I don't want any chance of anybody looking in. Well, yeah, no, I don't want that happening. So very good choice there for sure. Coming up Monday, a lovely On the Job segment to share with you all. We are making candles with the Great North Candle Company. The owners show us what goes into making these unique creations and even let us try out creating our own unique scents. You won't want to miss that story coming up on Monday.
Yeah, that was a super fun one. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend.
Time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the Great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the Great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the Great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.